Hello, and welcome to a Toonkind D&D game, the finale of Back to the Beginning. I am Winona, and I'll be your DM for today. And would my lovely players like to reintroduce themselves?
Certainly. I am Oatmeal, and I will be playing the professor.
Hi folks, I'm Comet and I'll be playing Marigold.
Morning, I'm Whis. I am not caffeinated, but we're getting by. And I am playing Selli Alamos today.
Yes. And your characters had a time last game, hadn't they?
They sure did!
Oh boy, did they ever.
Yeah.
They're still having a time right now, huh?
Yes.
Man, the saving grace of that was not being under the impression that all was lost.
Yeah!
Yeah, if
Because
we
things
were
were
under the impression that Scratch was dead, oh.
yeah, things were pretty hairy for a few minutes there.
Yep. But nope.
Won't you evil off at us?
But at the end of our last episode, Barry got the police in an ambulance, and they all arrived. The police took away the kidnappers, which were now, well, as of right now, former students. They were students until now, but now you guys have traveled to the hospital via the ambulance, and they took Scribbles away to examine him and stuff, and you are getting and you guys were shown to a private waiting room that has some very nice comfy couches, a little mini table to the side with some toys and everything, and there's just this glass giant window that's right next to the door, so you could see out into the hospital, where there's a sort of desk area for the nurses and everything. You see some doctors walking around, but yeah, as of right now, you guys and Callie, because she joined into the ambulance ride too. Barry's trying to get everything organized back at the university, because they're like, what the hell happened?
Mm-hmm.
Fair
But-
enough, really.
Yeah. But now...
Oh my god. Sorry.
Sorry. No, you go.
No, sorry, that was rude. I was just gonna say, how did Marigold fit in an ambulance?
I mean, these are toon ambulances. It
Yeah.
looks like a clown car.
Clown car.
Clown car.
I'm sorry for interrupting.
No, you're fine. Yeah. But the four of you, as of right now, are in the little waiting room, waiting to hear what they're saying about Scribbles.
Mm-hmm.
Selli is fretting. Selli is absolutely fretting.
I just rolled a whiz save. The professor, he is composed enough to not be pacing, but he is just sort of standing and fidgeting with a pocket watch.
Oh,
Yeah.
I should roll it with save too. Why not?
Yeah.
That sounds fun.
That doesn't seem right. She rolled a 17 plus. So she rolled a. That doesn't seem right, but
Selli is making it.
that's a 19.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Why is this doesn't seem right?
Yeah. Let's do it at disadvantage.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah.
Better, Selli. Okay. She's holding it together. She wants everything to be okay for
Y'all,
her
I rolled
boyfriend. So she's...
Yo, I rolled a nat 1.
Oh no!
I actually rolled for Callie too. She rolled an 18. She's trying to hold it together too.
Maybe this is why Selli and Callie and the professor are all keeping it together, because we have to keep Marigold under control a bit.
Yeah, not for actual
Jeez.
numbers. Prof got a 16, so that was his.
Mm-hmm.
So
She's being very
Marigold?
quiet. She's just very still and very quiet. I think the red.
With a nat 1.
With it now.
Yeah, paint is a picture for us, Comet.
She is just frozen in place. She's not making any facial expressions. Oh, well, I should expect that one. God damn it. But I guess everyone sees sketchy tears roll down her face.
Oh.
Oh boy.
Out of curiosity, who has the book? Or did they bring that in with Scribbles?
They took the police let's see. I'm gonna roll for that. The book isn't there. The police took it as evidence.
All right.
Yeah, but Callie is just sort of breaks silence. You know, I should probably alert our parents about this while we are waiting. They'll probably hear about this soon enough from the police, but I feel like I should probably break the news first.
That's probably a good idea.
Kelly nods. I'll be right back. There's probably a phone nearby. As she then gets up and goes to the door. And as she goes to the door, it opens by itself, and you see a UPAN nurse, a female nurse with red hair. She sort of has that sort of she's shorter, long hair, sort of a not bob. I can't think of the hairstyle right now, but she's like, sorry about that. Are you okay? Say, did I hurt you? And Kelly's like, no. Sorry. Do you have news about my brother? And she said, not yet. The doctors are, poor soul. They're still examining him right now. But I was just coming around to see if anyone needed anything, drinks. There's a little food court in our hospital, just a floor below us.
I don't think any of us are particularly in the mood to eat. Thank you, though.
Right. Of course. I just want to make sure, as the head of the nurse, I want to make sure all of you are as comfortable as possible. Is there anything else I could do to, I don't know. It's just, we're in a little bit of a pickle here. Usually examinations don't take this long, but we're trying to figure out what has happened to Mr. Scribbles.
Out of character, have they gotten a briefing on the situation with Scratch? Do they understand that part of that problem?
You say no, they have not.
Oh God. Okay. Okay.
No one has told them about that.
Oh. Okay. Okay.
Going to be. Is he still unconscious?
The nurse gives a little nod. Unfortunately, yes, he is still unconscious.
wonder if it's the soul bond.
She perks up a bit. Soul bond?
Yes, he's soul bonded with a magic is what he calls it. They started as his enchanted spellbook.
She cocks an eyebrow at that. Don't know what the heck a Uda Magicae is, but
It's like a it's in the similar sort of family as a genius loci.
She gives a nod. I see. I will alert some of the doctors on this, and we'll see if we can get any better results. Thank you for this valuable piece of information. My name is Rosa Wolf. If you need me, I am the head of the nurse. So, say if you need, just come to the desk and tell one of the other nurses that you want to see me.
Right, before you go, so the situation as we know it, he had Scratch, and Scratch was attached, well, soul bonded to Scribbles, but also attached to the spellbook, of course. The spellbook got burned beyond use. But when I cast what was it?
Detect thoughts, I think it was.
Detect thoughts. I was able to detect that Scratch, the Una Magicae, was sort of located in the vicinity of Scribbles' soul, at least currently. So it's possible that that sort of trauma is what is keeping him unconscious.
The nurse nods at this. I see. I will convey that to the doctors. And
It is paramount that both of them survive.
of course, we do what we can to that's sort of our job here. As she smiles. Though you can make an insight if you want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
I don't think my girl's
Yeah, that's fair.
I really need to get myself some pink dice for Selli.
Ooh.
Aw, yes.
she is not paying attention.
Fair enough.
Marigold has checked out.
Yeah. And you could definitely tell that this head nurse, believes you full-heartedly that this is a soul problem, possibly, but you could definitely tell there is worry on their face. Because you don't know why there is worry on their face, but you could definitely tell that because of what the information you gave to them, this is going to be much harder.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh boy.
But Callie then speaks up. Though I do need to call my parents. Miss Wolf, can you please show me to where the nearest phone is? And Rosa nods like, oh yes, yeah, definitely. I'll show you this way. She then leads Callie out of the room to the phone.
What a mess.
Mm.
And you guys can make a little perception for me if you want.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, indeed. What's your perception, Selli?
Is that oh god.
16?
I was hoping, as I saw it across the table, that it was an 8, but it was not. It was a 3.
Oh no!
So that's a
Sounds
7
wrong.
total.
Oh no.
Aw.
Yeah.
No, nothing was safe to just like
Snap
get out of
a
it.
little bit.
You can if you want.
Oh, thank God, that's a 16.
Mm.
Wait, no, that's not it. That was, no. 18, I accidentally, I did not, that was a 16. That was supposed to be a +2. There we go. 18.
Yeah.
Kind of blinks and the red LEDs kind of flicker and it's just dim. And the sketchy tears kind of disappear as well. And she kind of just slowly turns.
Yeah.
So should I roll a perception?
You can roll perception, yes.
You might as well.
Great.
except-
Great.
That's
That's great.
amazing.
Thanks, Mary. I mean, you just got out of it, so I guess that makes sense. But also, that's a.
This is just
That's
how your
a
luck
9.
works with this girl, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Please,
Mm.
please tell me Selli is perceiving.
Selli
yeah, Selli got a-
Selli is perceiving,
You
and
got a 16.
is a
Okay.
as you guys are still sitting around waiting for news or at least be able to see Scribbles again, you see the head nurse, Miss Wolf, like after a while come back through the window, and like she looks to be talking to some doctors like behind some of the desk area where they seem to be some of them have been conjugating a little bit, looking at some charts, and you can tell that she's probably telling them about the soul thing, and they snicker and laugh at Rosa as they sort of wave her off dismissively as they go off
Oh.
go on their business.
Professor is going to go through that door.
You're not the one who saw.
You're not the one who saw.
Oh, crap!
I'm so sorry.
Only Selli sees this.
Oh, God!
Oh.
Believe me, Mary would also be heckin' pissed if we saw it too.
Let me roll her a Whis save. Please roll her. Please roll her. That is an 11. Okay. Selli is going through that door. You guys just sort of see her abruptly stand up and walk to the door.
Oh.
Well, okay. The professor is gonna follow, because if whatever's happening is enough to take Selli off, like this
Yeah.
person, his impression of them is that they're very mild mannered, and so yeah, he's following. He has no idea what's going on, but he's following.
So is Mary, honestly. She's a bit dazed, but follow Selli.
Mm-hmm.
Selli is just going to open that door and walk straight up to those doctors and just give them this look. What, may I ask, is funny?
See, the doctors look a little bit confused. They look at Rosa, and Rosa clears her throat. Dr. Tennant, I'd like to introduce you to one of Scribbles' friends. Or, I actually didn't get your relationship to him. Miss, I think Selli is your name?
You may call me Celeste. And
Right.
we are his family, ma'am.
Thank you so much. I like try to keep everything in order. My fault. But yes, this is Scribbles' family. Dr. Tennant, Dr. Smith, Dr. Capaldi. I've been waiting so long to do this joke. Do not.
Oh my god, it is too early for that.
You know how long I've been waiting to do this joke.
I'm trying to be Angie, and you're laying this on me?
Christ.
My gosh.
I was like, I had a hunch when you said Tennant. No, no, you wouldn't. You
would.
I would. I've been waiting
God.
so long to make this joke.
like, God.
You picnic. Wonderful. Oh dear. Oh gosh. So Selli is kind of giving the, the disappointed nobility kind of vibe.
Yeah.
That's what she's putting on. She doesn't get loud or ragey when she gets angry. She does the "thou hast disappointed the queen" kind of thing. And so she is straight backed, and every ounce of decorum is just oozing from her right now. She's.
Do you want to try to roll
so pissed.
intimidation?
I do.
You know,
I'm
I won't.
so proud of her.
Yeah, that ain't gonna make it. So, yeah, they ain't gonna make it. Yeah, these doctors look like they shuffle and they're very uncomfortable, and they're like, I see. What is particularly the problem, ma'am?
Well, we expressed some concerns to your head nurse, who I assume has now passed them on to you. And I feel as though you are not taking these concerns seriously.
Ma'am, I can reassure you that we are taking these things this very seriously.
No, you're not.
Excuse me? And Dr. Capaldi looks at you.
No, clearly you're not. I mean, Celestia wouldn't have burst in here if you were really taking them seriously.
I mean, we are taking this. I say, I can reassure you. And he's just sort of looks a bit more uncomfortable because of that intimidation. It's just we are taking this seriously. But the information that Nurse Rosa passed on to us that this was a soul problem, which is highly improbable because soul magic is just, it doesn't really exist.
Well, I think you will find that you are mistaken. We know Scribbles and Scratch a lot better than you do. And we have given you medical information about your patient. It is highly improper to disregard it as fiction without investigating it first. And I would hate for anything to happen to your hospital on the grounds of malpractice.
Oh.
You get a glance from the professor is that a bit much?
She's pissed.
Yeah.
We can reassure you that we're trying to do everything possible. But we will take this very much into consideration with this new information. And Dr. Tennant looks towards the other doctors and they're like, yeah, we will. As they then just try to scoot back and try to go off and just walk away.
At times like this, I wish that Selli was a dark type or something, because that would be so impressive, but just sort of imagine that very anime sort of doom aura. She has that doom aura.
The professor's going to turn to the others and he says, would it help to have a copy of Scribbles' notes on Uno Magicae, do you think? Because he gave a copy to Professor
Crystal.
Crystal.
Hmm.
So, should we... I mean...
Rosa sighs as she hears this. That ain't gonna work, unfortunately, loves.
What's wrong with it?
She then sort of takes a look back around at the other nurses and doctors and waves them back into the waiting room.
Uh-huh.
And she closes the door and then turns to them. I've seen this before. It's unfortunately we are this hospital, the University of UPA hospital, recognizes a lot of different magics, including necromantic magic in the way of healing, but they still do not recognize fully as a scientific and medical approach to soul magic and soul bonds. They just think it's just a bunch of shaman mumbo jumbo.
All of the things that are possible in this world, and they are writing off a perfectly provable form of magic as mumbo jumbo.
Unfortunately, in the way of healing and stuff, there hasn't been really any way to combat it until more recently. I know a possible doctor that can help us.
All right. How do we get in contact?
He's here in the hospital, but we first need to wait until Mr. Scrambles, I should say, is in his room to fully diagnose what is happening. We'll need to keep this on the down low, though. Unfortunately, the hospital does not recognize soul healing magic.
Okay.
People are welcome to roll an insight on Selli if they want.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, that's nothing.
Oh yeah, that's a 17.
Yeah, and I got a 6.
He doesn't know her very well, I guess.
Nah.
Wait, was it insight?
When they met, just that morning, so, yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, insight, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Ah, frick. Sorry. Okay.
Oh yeah. Selly's... Okay, everybody can get that Selli is pissed. But, she's kind of stiff and shaking, and there's this weird vibe to her that, oh, okay, they're not going to take this seriously. They're going to face the full force of my wrath. There is wrath happening here. And Selli doesn't do wrath like, say, Rye does wrath. Selli does wrath in the I am going to ruin you socially kind of way. Because she is nobility. So she's like, if this doesn't go well, woe upon this entire hospital. But she is so pissed off right now, but she's calm. She's very calm. This is very deliberate.
Mm-hmm.
Marigold's gonna hold Selli's hand.
Selli will hold it back and just look at Marigold. We'll figure this out.
All right, so how... Sorry?
Oh, I was, no, you go.
I was just gonna say, how do we get Scribbles to this doctor then?
Leave that to me. I can handle that sort of side. You just gotta be patient and act like there's nothing wrong. And if I know the Scrambles family, well, his mother and father are gonna be here pretty soon.
Oh. So, okay, all right. Do we have to keep them out of it?
I think you should let his sister know. I say she would probably be the only one knowing them being able to talk her parents down. Or more specifically, his mother.
Oh, good grief. All right. Okay.
And ironically, say Callie comes back into the room. And she's like, "Oh, can we say what's going on?"
I was just picturing her walking back into the room like that guy with the pizza boxes into the burning room.
Yeah, pretty much.
Except it's not actual fire, it's just this
Yeah,
doom.
it's just Selli and Righteous Fury.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, there seems to be a bit of a problem. The doctors on duty right now, Dr. Tennant, Dr. Smith, and Dr. Capaldi, seem to all have a complete disregard for soul magics and are thus a very dismissive of that part of Scribbles' case. So Nurse Rosa here was going to help get Scribbles to see another different doctor who does, but we have to keep that on the down low, and apparently we just need to keep a low profile for a bit.
Callie nods slowly, and she's like, "I can do that. My father, he can do that. My mother, ugh." She's just like that, face.
Uh-huh. So, well, I'll leave it up to you. Is this going to be a matter of convincing her, or are we just going to have to keep it from her for now?
I think we could possibly convince her, but she has to have her, and Rosa smirks, her righteous fury, and Callie nods, her righteous fury out first.
Uh-huh. That shouldn't be too difficult, I don't think.
I'm gonna actually roll something for Callie.
Uh-huh.
That's better. Okay. That was with advantage because mother. But she's like, if we could possibly distract her with something, we could buy enough time to calm her down, so to speak.
Hmm.
I'm afraid Scribbles didn't tell me much about your parents, so you're going to be the authority on this one, Kelly.
Callie thinks for a little bit, and yeah, she looks at Marigold.
She just looks up.
You're Scribbles' daughter, right?
Yes?
Callie gets a little smirk. She's always wanted grandchildren.
Oh my god! nods her head.
Right.
Marigold, would you be willing to play interception and just sort of keep Scribbles' mother distracted while we get things sorted, so to speak?
She probably just looks at this is
We won't let you do it alone. If they're going to be excited to meet you. The impression I got was that no one was expecting him to be in a romantic relationship either, so perhaps I could assist.
it's okay. I'm okay. Huh.
I had wanted to meet them, but not like this.
Yes, it is an unfortunate circumstance.
Callie nods. Yeah,
Oh goodness.
it's gonna be pretty awkward, probably, but you say either one of you two could probably maybe run some interference.
Should we perhaps try and intercept them before they enter the hospital?
I don't know. That might be difficult. I wonder if maybe you could just uh, keep them. I mean, they would probably feel comfortable enough being here, close enough to Scribbles while he's under observation, but at the same time keep them what's the word I'm looking for? Restricted to maybe a single waiting room. Because I don't know if there's any keeping them out of the hospital proper. That's...
Knowing my parents, probably not the hospital, but we could probably get them to the waiting room. And she looks towards Rosa, hopefully, and Rosa smiled. I gotcha. I say I'll put the custodian on the job. He'll lead them right to the waiting room.
Oh dear.
Okay. She takes a deep breath. Even though that's not really effective, but like, you know.
Yeah, it's for effect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, it looks like we have a plan. I'll go up to the front of the go up to the front of the hospital too to make sure that we don't they know all the ins and outs of the hospital because of Scribbles' history. But I say with the custodian's help, we should be able to lead them right to here.
Hang on. Has Scribbles had a history of being in the hospital?
What?
Callie looks a bit surprised, and Rosa looks at Callie and then looks at the group, and she speaks up. Yeah, he's been in and out of the hospital ever since he was like 10 years old.
What for?
What?
The more general term is magical overload.
Huh.
He had so much magic that his body literally couldn't take it. And he was in and out of the hospital. He even got some secondary symptoms that made his outline even a bit runny.
Really?
She nods.
Interesting.
Oh dear.
I wonder if that's why he was able to... I wonder if that's why Scratch operates the way he does.
Scratch took all of his excess magic. He's not had any problems with it since he's been living in Toontown.
Precisely. Scratch essentially stabilized him.
And Rose said not possibly, but I don't know again much about this magic haze stuff to confirm or deny anything.
Hmm.
Nona, would you say that Selli has read Scribbles' paper on her way to Magic, eh?
Oh yeah, probably yes, for sure.
Okay.
I would.
Can I, in that case, maybe roll a history or something to see whether or not there's anything that Scribbles had sort of twigged to and wrote in his notes?
Yeah.
Can I also roll a history? Like, is it possible he would have like info dumped within the household?
Oh yeah, like you've
Like-
seen the notes all over. You probably would have
Yeah.
seen or heard something.
Oh, all right, okay. I was not having high hopes because you have a -2, but all right.
What did you get?
Nice.
Yeah, that is as you like thinking about it and stuff, even Scribbles has mentioned as maybe a working theory that maybe was the case. Because the time that he got Scratch, which was when he was 10 years old, was the time that he started not like needing to go to the hospital anymore, that he hadn't had any problems with his magic or anything else or a writing outline like the nurse had mentioned ever since that he's gotten Scratch.
That makes an awful lot of sense.
Enough. And even enough magic to power me for a bit.
You were getting an arched eyebrow expression from Selli, but she's not asking right now. We don't have time to unpack that right now.
Ironically, the professor kind of knows about that.
Ha! Yeah, she is forming ideas right now. Something, to do with her own core. I don't know. It's...
Hmm.
I mean, does she know that the Scratch was sort of connected to her?
You don't know this.
Dang it. Never mind then.
Or at least he does not know
Then it will-
this. They say, you just know,
Mhm.
you have a feeling, but you don't know for sure.
Yeah. She just had a bad feeling when Scratch was hurt. And that's all she has to go on. I'm gonna see. Yeah, no, never mind. I was thinking, could that be a thing that she knows, but she needs to know that.
Yeah. Could we have a quick break? I drank my hot chocolate way too quickly.
Oh, sure. Yeah, we can have a quick break.
I will be right back.
All right.
boy, oh boy, oh boy. Ah.
Ah.
Hello.
Oh,
Hello.
boy. I'm that connecting dots meme, and I'm not liking it.
Mhm.
But
Get over that really good intimidation roll from Selli. That was beautiful.
That was absolutely
Mhm.
gorgeous. These doctors are very much scared of you.
I loved that joke, by the way.
Though you did get the first joke with the nurse.
Rosa Wolf.
Oh God. Okay, now I get it. Oh my gosh.
Hello, I'm back.
Hello. I've been waiting so long to make that joke.
Oh boy.
Just, just if they didn't get off at such a bad start, it's like, oh, you seem familiar. Yeah, I noticed that too. We seem to have a lot in common. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, but you ready? Are you ready to get back into it?
Yeah.
All right. So you guys go into your little teams. I'm not very sure. Is Selli gonna go with Marigold or?
Yeah, she's not gonna let her face their grandparents alone. That seems mean.
All right.
Yeah, and Callie's gonna go down too, so you know which one is their parents. So though you'll probably very much know.
Yeah.
As
Marigold
I
is
assume
very
they
much
have a similar
very
design
nervous.
to Scribbles and Callie, so
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Callie also does not want you to feel the full wrath of their parents just yet.
that's fair. They might mistake them for hospital staff.
That's maybe. I mean, Marigold is a little out there.
I know. A little bit. The odd one out here, kind of, sort of.
A little bit, being a real kind carousel horse.
Yeah, that's. Mhm. Exactly.
Yeah, and the doctor is waiting in the room as
The who?
is not the doctors.
The nurse?
The nurse goes and works out everything with the professor, and she's just like, stay there. I say, I'll handle it, and then we can go together once we get the room and everything. So, meanwhile, as Rosa does that, Callie, Marigold, and Selli are down at the sort of main area of the hospital. It's very generic. There's a front desk. There's plenty of spaces to sit. There's like 2 aquariums on either side of the room for like kids to play, like look at, and there's like coloring places to like play with and stuff for children waiting. But overall, very generic. Sorry, I need a drink.
Valid.
It's like a nicer hospital than any of the ones I've been in.
Mm-hmm. But
She's just fidgeting. If she could sweat, she'd be sweating loudly.
as you then see then you finally see a tune that it looks similar to Scribbles and Selli. A very boxy looking UPAN tune with like a very cut hairstyle, but it just almost looks like a mark, like a red line. And I'll get the picture up momentarily. Come on. You're not doing what you want. You're not doing what I want you to do, computer. Please, go to this folder. He's wearing a black suit and red tie. Very much a businessman.
Oh, I love him.
And he looks very calm and very monotone would be the description of this guy as he goes up to Callie. And then he's like, Callie, say, how's Scribbles doing? And Callie is like, they're still checking him over, Father. This is Marigold and Selli. You know, the ones I told you about. And he looks towards them and he's like, yes. His daughter and girlfriend, right? I am Mark Scribbles. And he goes out to shake their hands.
I think, yeah, she shakes his hand. Hello, it's very nice to meet you. I'm Marigold.
Selli will definitely shake the hand and also give a slight bow. If only it could be under better circumstances.
He sighs and rubs the back of his head. I wish so too. Apparently, everything that we were told by him was right, and I will have to say I am very happy about that. We do love Scribbles dearly, but I definitely wish it was under better circumstances. Though, jeez. Should we say, has your mother already been here, Callie? And Callie shakes her head. He's like, jeez. Storm's about to come in. As you guys want to make a perception check?
I'd love to.
Yes, indeed.
Of course. Well, okay, that's actually pretty decent for you. Finally. 15.
You got better than Selli did. So you got a 12.
Here's the thing. This was not a high DC. It was not a high DC at all. As you hear the thump, 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 thump of footsteps as another UPA tune bursts into the hospital. She's like, "Where's my son?" And you see this tune come in.
Oh,
I love her.
Mark's, which is Scribbles' father, just bridges his nose if it was there. And he's just like, honey. I say, Mark's, where's our son? I say, how is he? Is he okay? I say, all right. Have the nurses been doing their work? I say, I know that Rosa is an amazing nurse. Like, I love her. I say, we need to also talk a little bit more. But I say, all right, where is he? Where can I find him? Where's my boy? As she starts storming off.
She's a little bit flabbergasted right now. She's just trying to
Mrs. Scribbles, could we have a minute?
What? Who? Oh! It's Callie, are these the two that you told us about? Is this Selli and Marigold? And she immediately is pulled back.
My name is Selli. It's very lovely to meet you. I'm sorry it has happened this way. This is Marigold. She just sort of looks at.
There's a very shy wave.
Oh my gosh.
Carries
Oh,
out a horse.
say, oh my gosh. Look at you. You're so. I say, he mentioned that you were a little bit older, and she just goes to like, just scoop your face, Marigold.
She makes that noise, just and
Oh, I say,
but I think she lets her.
he's like, oh my gosh. I say, I can't say you look to be doing well. I mean, I have not. Maybe a little bit chip paint. I have some mothers who have adopted war forges. We can get you all gussied up. We can have breakfast. We can make a whole day of it. And look at you. And she's just basically dolling over you, Marigold.
Oh. She actually just kind of melts a bit, because, she's nice. Oh.
That was a
Yeah, she
deception
kinda
for
just
Selli to
did.
keep a straight face.
Oh. Funny. Yeah, she's just like a little giggle, and that sounds nice. I do admit the paint's been wearing off for a bit now.
If it has, I know this. I know that Caroline. She has a son. Very nice young man. Honestly, maybe you two should meet. But anyways, he was having the exact same problem, but he was finally able to find an artificer that has waterproof paint that is like similar to cars. Actually, that is very hard to get off. Maybe we can go ask about him and I'll call about him. Don't worry about doing anything. I will get everything set up. But we'll make a day. We'll make a day of it. We'll go to the place. You can pick out your paint and stuff, and you can tell them how you wanted them to do it, and then basically she then goes off on the rant of how you two could just have this nice little date, like granddaughter day together.
Yeah.
I'm glad Selli got a dirty 20 on that deception to keep a straight face. She likes Doodle.
Yeah.
She likes her a lot.
So
She's trying
does
to
Marigold. She's been having a bit of a time, but this is nice. This is nice. She's just trying to the other people had said to keep her distracted. So but she is genuinely trying to keep conversation. Just keep the ramble going. It's probably not hard, but like she's genuinely yeah.
Though, unfortunately, Marks does do a little bit of a cough, and she's like, "Oh, right. Shoot. How's my son been?" I "Have we heard anything yet? Has the nurses told you anything yet?" I "Has Rosa told you anything yet?" I trust her more than all those other nurses. She's been here for years. Wonderful woman. Oh gosh, you should she cares so much. Did you know that she was gonna be planning to be a doctor? She was about to have. She has technically the degree and everything, but no, she decided she wanted to help out people. She wanted to stay a nurse, and honestly, she's the best nurse in here. No wonder there's many dumb things about this hospital sometimes, but God, they did one thing right when they put her in charge of the nurses. Oh, geez, I can we actually. I don't know if she's told you this, but we've been coming here for a long time. Our son. Although I don't know if you know, Selli. I don't want to worry you more than you have. Oh, geez, I don't want to worry you more than you already are. I mean, my son has had some medical history in here, and I don't have to talk about it if you don't want to. We can focus one thing at a time. If you want to say whatever your mental state is, I know that's very important these days. Like, I've been trying to keep up on stuff.
It's quite all right.
Miss Rosa, yes.
feel the same. But if it's a comfort to you, Mrs. Scrambles, there's in the time that we've known Scribbles, he's not had any problems that's required anything even remote like hospitalization up until today. And today is certainly not a result of any underlying conditions.
That's a relief to hear. I say he always seemed to be okay ever since he started being a wizard, which I'm very happy. I don't know what it did to him or some sort of magical mumbo jumbo, because he's probably told you all this, but we're not a magical family at all. He's my little son that's a little wizard. Oh, I was so proud of him when he performed his first spell. I honestly couldn't believe it myself. I mean, no one in the line of our family has any magical potential at all, and then whoop, here he is, just the big wizard.
I'm just laughing at the pun. I don't know if you made that pun on purpose or not. Family line.
Ah! Oh, I nearly didn't catch that.
I love it. And I completely lost my train of thought, reeling from that pun. Choo choo. Yeah. No, Selly's just sort of she's keeping her calm. She's nodding. Yep. No, I understand. He has told me that both yourself and Mr. Scrambles aren't magic users, but he's quite talented. He's a tutor. He teaches magic and also other things as well.
Oh yes, I've heard about that with Callie told me with the letters, and she looks towards her daughter. Honestly, I'm just relieved that everything has been true, that he has changed and had a new leaf. I mean, I'm still mad, I'm still pissed, but I'm hoping maybe if you're how do you feel about this, darling? And she goes over to her daughter and just takes her hand. It's like, do you think we should really give him a second chance? And Callie does give her a very soft smile and squeezes her mother's hands back. She's like, I truly believe that he does deserve a second chance, and the road to recovery may be a bit long and arduous, but I feel like that maybe we can be a family again. And her mother just sighs in relief. Oh, you don't know how much that it's really for me to hear, Callie. Oh, and she just hugs her daughter.
Oh, my heart.
Mm.
The Mercs is just this has all been well and good, girls, but we should probably go to see if we should probably go. As he starts walking off.
They are expecting us in one of the waiting rooms.
Oh, if that's the case, just lead the way then. I say, oh no, I don't. They don't need to lead the way, darling. You know, I know this hospital like the back of my hand. I can lead us right to it. As she just starts taking off.
Selli is just gonna let out a very subtle, oh boy, behind Noodle's back when she's gone. It's very quiet. She's like, oh.
Marigold is just gives Selli just a gentle pat on the back, just.
Yeah.
But she has a very soft smile.
Yeah. And we can cut over back to the professor and the Nurse Wolf, as she tells as she sort of guides everything. You can sort of see her orchestrating all the nurses and stuff very subtly. You can tell that she's definitely done this before.
Mm.
And she knows exact words to say and stuff. And you do see the custodian, and unfortunately I didn't get a picture of him, but
Mm-hmm.
has anyone watched Scrubs?
No.
Mm,
A bit.
You know the reference. Basically you see a toon version of the janitor.
Ah.
As
Think I
yeah.
can't remember.
yeah, if you just Google Scrubs janitor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
You see a Frank Alley toon version of him, and he gives a thumbs up and whoops into one of the shadows of a passing cart, and he just disappears.
Uh-huh.
And then made him a shadow monk. It's fun.
Oh my gosh.
Nice.
Wow.
But yeah, he takes off. He takes off and does his thing, and eventually, it becomes very sparse in that sort of area for a bit, and Rosa then waves you out, Professor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he'll come.
All right, I got him in room 309. Let's get going quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And she walks off of him. I already lured the custodian to bring Dr. Luma in and say that's his name.
Mm-hmm.
Though we usually just call him Mason for simpler reasons.
Uh-huh.
She then leads you to the room, and you see Scribbles laying in a hospital bed, still unconscious.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, and she goes over and looks at his charts. Vitals seem to be still normal, just stabilizing. Oh, they say that he's in a coma. Not surprising. And she puts charts away.
Mm-hmm.
And you then hear soft footsteps coming in, and you hear the door open, and you see hey, come on. You see this guy.
Oh.
Oh.
Is that...
He walks in. He looks to be a half bee, half moth toon, and he comes over and closes the door. So he even locks the door because you hear like a very soft click when he enters. He's like, "All right, Rosa, what do we have here?" And he goes over to Scribbles and you. Who's this?
Who, me?
Yes, who are you? What's your relation to this patient?
Close friend, I suppose, would be the most accurate.
Mason nods. All right. I just like to be on the same page. Rosa told me this is a soul problem, but do you know anything about his condition, possibly?
Yes. So he, apparently he grew up with, in excess of magical energy and, had some trouble with it, up until
Until he was about 10 years old. I've read his file before. I've been here long enough to at least know that part of the story. What's wrong? What happened more recently in connection to that?
Yes. Well, his problem stopped when he created a let's see, I think it was Awakened spell book named Scratch, and due to probably the excess amount of energy, Scratch has evolved into more than an Awakened spell book. As a matter of fact, Scratch can is let's see, I think they're calling it Uda Magicae. It's a new sort of magical creature, similar to the family of magical creatures, you know, genius sorts, like a genius loci. The problem being that he's the spellbook was attacked, and Scribbles and Scratch worked together, and I think they were soul bonded. So Scratch is, and he like points at Scribbles' chest. Scratch is in here now.
Yeah, and Dr. Luma, or say Mason in this case, to say he's very much listening very intently. He has a little clipboard. He's just furiously taking down notes with everything you say. And he just gives little nods of understanding as you continue to explain the situation. He's like, all right, I will see what the situation is. I say, hopefully I can be able to solve it, but I should probably introduce myself fully. My name is Dr. Mason Luma. At your service, I am what they call or at least what my family calls a soulcaster.
Mm-hmm.
We specialize in soul and soul healing in my case and my grandfather's case.
I see.
And Rosa gives a little scoff. Yeah, and he was one of the best doctors in this hospital until they made him retire. And Mason sighs. Let's not get into that, Rosa. That's a whole different can of worms that we don't need right now. Let's just see what we have. As Mason goes over to Scribbles. All right. Rosa, can you keep an ear out for just in case? And she's like, right, as she goes over to the door. And he cracks his you think it's his knuckles, like he cracks his neck and then like sort of like goes through the motion of cracking his knuckles, and his hands begin to glow blue as he goes as they sort of hover over the chest of Scribbles, and he looks like he's almost meditating a bit as he like closes his eyes, and like there's like a twitch of an antenna every once in a while as he like he's like feeling something. He's like, I see. Well, the first worrying sign is that, unfortunately, compared to what his normal state is, he is extremely low on magic. Dangerously low on this case. He's usually, based on his previous charts, this is very dangerous.
That's a little odd, considering, as far as I am aware, Gratch puts out pretty wild amounts of energy himself, so I wonder why he's not, or if he is sustaining himself on Scratch. I don't know.
Let me take a deeper look as the blue glows a bit brighter, and its aura is almost like water in a way. It's very blue, almost glowing water as it sort of like spreads out from his hands to over Scribbles' body. I see. Now this is interesting. That could be the reason why. Possibly. He mumbles to himself. This is something that, oh jeez.
Hang on, I have to let my cat out.
Oh, sorry.
I'll be literally like 3 seconds.
Oh, you're fine. Yeah.
The suspense.
Mhm.
I'm back.
All right. And
He was saying,
yeah, he is just like, Well, I do feel two souls together, as you said. And he just sort of like taps his chest. It looks like, from what I'm reading, that Scribbles' soul is almost protecting this Scratch, you said?
yes.
Like-
That doesn't surprise me. Scratch, personality-wise, is not unlike a child, and as he becomes his own entity, Scribbles adopted him as his son.
Mason nods. Well, as I suspected, and I'll just say it out loud to reassure you that it is definitely nothing wrong with his body. And this is all has to do with his soul, which is, from what I can read, I think the best word to describe it is dislocated.
Oh. Well, that's not good.
Not at all. If I can hazard to guess, I have a working theory. If this is true, which I'm guessing it is, I'm just speaking out loud, but if he is like a son, and explain to me what this Uja Magicae is again, one more time.
It's like an evolved form of a, what is the term for the spell book something again? Awakened spell, like an evolved form of, an, awakened spell book. He can, he's a purely magical entity that can, he's almost like a living battery as far as magical power goes. He can power magical machines of great size, and just listen, and and he has a mind and soul of his own, as far as I'm aware. He can, back when he was attached to the spell book, that is, I think it must have, he probably became unattached when the spell book was burnt, a couple hours ago.
So if he's connected to the spell book and the spell book was destroyed,
Yeah.
by proxy, Rosa mentioned he had a soul bond with him, so he possibly just try to save Scratch, because by that account, Scratch should be dead. But
Yes, that's what we all believed.
But I'm guessing that the bond was so strong, he pulled Scratch back into him to save him, causing an immense amount of magical energy, basically depleting his, if I can guess, depleting pretty much his whole magical supply, and most likely his Scratches, to save him.
That doesn't make sense.
Soul bonds are very powerful, and they take up a lot of energy for someone to do that.
Dr. Luma, it may be important to note that there is a hmm, if they're able to be separated again, we do have a body prepared for Scratch. There's a it sort of looks like a little doll. I think Scratch has it in in his hammer space. Um, so I'm not able to access it, but uh, it's a small doll that Scratch is able to possess and um, just sort of use it as his own what do they call it? His ambulata form.
That's a good. That would be good. But as of right now, but like there's still magic within Scribbles, but it's very low. Basically, Scribbles to keep Scratch alive as I'm reading it is using up his magic.
Mm.
So that's why he's been basically what the doctors think he's in a coma. He's trying to reserve all of his energy to try to bring back his son.
Mm-hmm. Well, I guess the question then is, how do we help him do that?
That's the thing. As as his hands stop glowing and stuff, say his soul is basically dislocated from his body, or just basically out of sync, because he's spending so much of tremendous energy to try to keep Scratch alive. Unfortunately, I'm not fully versed enough in my field to be able to fix this, to make him undislocated, as it were. But I know someone who would, as he then sighs. And Rosa pipes up, your grandfather, Dr. Luma. Yes, the original Dr. Luma. Dr. Wilbur Luma.
Mm.
However, he does not work here anymore. He still does his practice, but it's at his home. So this is gonna be a nightmare. We either have to figure out how to sneak him in or try to get Scribbles to him.
Well, if I had my transport, I would have been able to try the latter, or the former, honestly, but I unfortunately left it at home. Teleported here instead.
He looks at him. I don't know which would be. Both of them would be a challenge, but it'd probably be up to you and his family to decide how you want to proceed.
Mm-hmm. Well, could we just have him, could we have him officially discharged from the hospital on the grounds that they're not able to do anything, and then simply take him there ourselves?
Basin looks very thoughtfully and looks at Rosa. There's a possibility of that. I could possibly use my powers to give him a little supercharge, as he then sort of waves his hand around where that blue sort of watery magic is floating around. My particular specialization in soul magic is what we like calling lifeblood magic, which basically boosts the immune system of the person to be able to withstand more than they usually are capable of. If we time this correctly, I could give him possibly a small boost, and it would be enough to have him enough time to be discharged on the grounds that he's okay, he's better, but It's really mumbo jumbo. I could possibly get him out if we go that way.
Mm-hmm. And how, if we decided the other way around, how would we get in contact with your grandfather?
Well, that wouldn't be much trouble at all. I have his number, and so does Rosa. We can contact him easily. It's just more sneaking him into the hospital that would be the problem, since he does not work here anymore.
Right. I think our do we have enough time for me to consult the others before making a decision, or
Mason nods. Yeah, that could be arranged. He won't be moving anytime soon. And I'll be able to with Rosa's help, I'll be able to get to him better now.
Well, I'm leaning towards getting Scribbles out of here, just so you know, but I'll ask the others to make sure.
Mason
All right.
nods. All right. Rosa, can you lead him back to the waiting room? And she nods. Yeah, I can. She then leads you back to the waiting room where it only takes a little bit. Doesn't take too long before the parents and the rest of your group come back into the waiting room. Oh, and Scribbles' mother looks at the professor. Is like, oh, hello there. Are you your Scribbles' friend, right? The
Yes.
professor?
Yes, that's exactly right. Pleasure to meet you, I suppose. You're his mother?
Yes, I'm his mother. I am Doodle Scrambles. This is my husband, Mark Scrambles, and Mark gives a nod. Have you heard anything more on our son? Has Rosa been back yet?
Pleasure to meet you both. Well,
How to say it?
yeah.
Kibby.
Kibby?
Hello. Yep.
Kitty?
Kibby has decided
Aw.
to sleep on my legs.
Aw.
Okay. Hello. Sorry, I got distracted by cat.
Yeah, no, that's okay. I'm still thinking how to word this.
I feel like before Professor got there, she's Marigold has been trying catching up Doodle and Mark on just I don't know, how they met and
that sort of stuff, yeah.
and how he's just those kind of things.
Oh boy. I am unsure whether to whether to sort of spill the beans, or if that'll cause a fuss.
It's all up to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just give me a second. Okay. He he okay, he is still uh grinning very pleasantly from the introductions, but what he says is he says, will you do anything to save your son?
Oh my god.
Oh, I like that angle. Okay.
I just rolled something. Okay, they look at each other, like you, very surprised, and and Doodle looks very almost insulted. He's like, "Of course I would do anything to save my son. He's my son." I say, "What do you take me for, a bad parent?" No, I love him very much. And she looks like she's about to go off on you.
Mm-hmm. Then I need you to listen very carefully. We have two options. One, we need to be very quiet and very careful and sneak in the only doctor who knows about the very specific condition he is in right now. Or we need to be uh we need to be very very straightforward about bringing Scribbles out of here on the premise that he is okay, even though he is not yet, to bring him to this same doctor, who is again the only person we know of who can fix his condition.
They look at each other, and Marx is the one who speaks up and I was like, well, this is a very reputable business, and sneaking in someone would very much make the hospital probably look bad in a business sort of standpoint, especially if we are caught. I say, if there's a way to, basically what you're suggesting, sneaking him out, it may be the best possible course of action. But
That was my thought, yes.
But how would we do this then?
Well, he is going to get a bit of a he is going to get a treatment to make him temporarily slightly better. It is not a long-lasting treatment, but it should make him sufficiently well enough to be discharged from the hospital, at which point we can deliver him to this other doctor that can give him the proper treatment.
He say, I'm gonna roll something. If you want to roll persuasion.
Yeah. Oh, Professor, please. Oh, what's your modifier? Yeah. Okay. It's only his best stat.
Yeah, and that beats what he rolled. And Mark Doodle's like, well, I don't know. I mean, that sounds sort of. And Marx puts a hand on Doodle's shoulders, like, honey, I think that we should go with that. We should go with their plan. What should we do? Should we run backup? Should we run disturbance? What do you think would be best?
That's a good question. I think the best thing you can do is act as if everything's normal, and that you're very happy to have your son back, and thankful to the hospital staff, and such and so on.
Marx gives a nod. All right, we can do that for sure, right, honey? And Doodle's like, oh, yes, of course we can, yes. And Callie nods too. And she's like, I say, I'll stick with my parents too. You guys can go to the doc. You can get him to the doc. I say, I can get him. Wait, Dad, do you have your car? And he's like, yes. We could probably squeeze everyone in, maybe. No, we can say. And he then looks at Marigold. It's just like,
Not much.
maybe we'll take Doodle's car, but take both cars.
This is a distressed horse. She's gotta run as fast as she can.
All right.
Yeah.
He's been like fidgeting very nervously the entire time because lying.
Mhm.
You know what? I'll just not talk. I'll just not talk the entire time. I'm good at that.
All right. If we're all in agreement, then I'll go back and let the nurse and the doctor know what the plan is. I'll meet you back here.
They nod. All right, sounds good, son.
All right. The professor goes back to room 309.
Yep, and Rose is still near the door, and she looks at you. It's like, so what they say?
Everyone is in agreement. We are getting Scribbles out.
She nods. All right, I'll say Mason's still in there. Double check. Say Mason's still in there. So I'll tell him to go. I'll get him the go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
And she then sort of looks around in the hallways, and she's like, all right, we're still good. The custodian is doing his job pretty well. If they haven't, if he hasn't been, we haven't seen the doctors yet.
Mm.
And if you want to roll a quick perception for me.
Yeah. Okay. That's actually pretty good. 18.
You hear a Wilhelm scream somewhere.
Nice.
Excellent.
Because it's like one of those sort of like, it's like you hear like the tuned sound of someone slipping on water or something, and he's like, "Wah!" and just going and hitting the ground.
Uh-huh. All right.
Sometimes I like doing joke rolls.
All right. He's gonna wait then, I guess, until Mason is ready.
Yeah, and Mason doesn't take any time to do what he does. He basically uses his lifeblood powers to revitalize Scribbles for a little bit, and is the professor going into the room to watch this, or is he going back to?
I think he would do that. Yeah. He's curious.
Yeah. Basically, Mason takes out this needle and fills it with a blue liquid substance that he's able to conjurate with his magic and fill it and give a shot to Scribbles, and Scribbles, like, it takes a few seconds, but he starts waking up. What? Whoa! Where am I? And Scribbles just sort of jolts as he like his mind is like, oh shoot, I was in trouble.
Oh, calm down, dear. Come on, calm down.
Professor? Professor, oh, what happened?
Down.
Where am I? Where am I?
You're in the hospital. Everything is taken care of. We're taking you to get the rest of your problems sorted out and bring back Scratch. He's safe.
Oh, thank
You
God.
kept him safe. But he's sort of stuck to you now, so we're going to resolve that in a moment, but you need to act as if everything is okay, so that we can get you out of the hospital, and to this other doctor, because he's not affiliated with the hospital.
Scribbles gives a slow nod. All right. Good. What I did work. God, I still feel awful, though. And Mason's like, yeah, you're gonna, despite what I gave you, you're gonna still feel like shit, dude.
Would you like me to carry you?
Yeah, that'd be nice. If you don't mind, of course.
All right, should I roll strength?
You can roll strength. As
Right.
Rosa immediately...
No!
As Rosa immediately goes, like, once the thing has done, she is, like, Mason gave her a signal, and she immediately go out to, like, get the paperwork done and everything.
So I got an 8. What do I do with that?
Oh no!
I did.
Oh,
Wait, can I argue for, like, athletics?
Yeah, you could go athletics, yes.
Just call the daughter!
Okay, that's a much better, hang on. That's a much better, oh, nope, I didn't do it right. Okay, with athletics, wait, did you, wait.
That's an 18.
Or I could, yeah. Or I could do it, I wasn't sure, should I use the same roll as before, just with a different modifier?
Yeah.
Because I rolled again. Okay, because either way, yeah, the original roll was a 7, plus a 7 is a 14.
Which is definitely enough. He is a twink. He's a little stick figure. It didn't take much. You just needed to be at a 10.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and you carry. How do you carry Scribbles out?
Princess style.
Yeah!
Yeah. Good old bridal carry. We love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and everyone else eventually sees Scribble being bridal carried by the professor.
I'm gonna roll another deception for Selli. How are you doing? Oh, she's quivering. She's like, gotta stick to the plan, gotta stick to the plan, gotta stick to the plan. Oh my god, there he is! He's awake! Oh my gosh!
Oh, my girl. I don't... Do I want to... Okay. Yeah, I'll roll a deception as well. Ha! Well, I'm sorry.
Marigold, honey.
I mean,
her ears droop and she's immediately rushing to their side.
yeah, the parents his family didn't do well either. They basically give you a giant group hug. Mom, Dad, Sid, Marigold, Selli, he begins crying himself.
Oh dear.
Yeah, the sketchy tears are back, baby. She's... Oh boy. She's just holding his face. And just... rest her forehead against his and... You're okay. You're okay.
I'm okay.
You will be, dear.
We don't have a lot of time.
No, she tries to pull herself back together.
All right, everybody out. Onwards.
Okay.
Yeah, and his parents reluctantly pull away as you're getting a little bit of attention, but say you guys quickly make it out.
All
I mean,
right.
it seemed like a appropriate reaction to like having a family member that just, you know.
Yeah.
It's been in a coma for a couple of hours. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
No, they didn't like
Yeah.
leave anything slip or anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Are they able to exit the hospital without any problems?
Yeah, they
Do we
are.
need to... Oh, swell.
They say, they are. As you see, like multiple, like on your way out, you see multiple like signs that are like say slippery floor here, slippery floor there. As it sort of makes a like beeline to straight to the to the like the main entrance and stuff. So you can definitely get the figure that the custodian has got you covered.
Oh, nice. Very good.
Blended.
And as you guys walk out, you see you see Rosa rushing out with a huff. I almost forgot. Here, as she hands one of you. Let's see, who she hands it to.
Sally will take it.
Probably
All right.
Selli? Yeah.
Say she hands a small piece of paper with an address to Selli. Say this is for
We may need that.
Oh, how silly of me.
Yeah, and she's like, here's his address. Tell him that that Rosa and his grandson sent ya.
Thank you.
No problem.
Thank you.
Say, I wish you guys all the luck. As she then goes back into the hospital.
Thank you, Rosa. You've been a grand help.
She gives like a little like wave as she walks back in, like goodbye wave.
Yeah.
Marigold turns to the professor. And, were we really about to just leave and wander around aimlessly for?
He just closes his mouth and looks away. He would have remembered to get the address eventually.
Eventually, when will he have remembered?
Probably when he stepped outside.
He just puts her head in her hands.
Come on. No time for that now. Got somewhere to be.
All right, to the car. Where's the car?
We'll give you say here. Marigold should come with us and say I have a minivan. Say she could come with us, but say this way.
Mm-hmm.
As they
For
take
a moment, Marigold has sparkle eyes because she's finally in a car.
Yeah, they take you to the car, and they were conveniently enough they were able to park side by side. You can definitely tell that Mr. Scrambles has more of a modest sort of like regular car, while Mrs. Scrambles has a minivan / SUV vehicle.
I can picture it clearly. Looks like she drove through all the puddles on the way here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Splendid. So, is the professor and Scribbles going in Mark's car, and then the girls will go with Doodle in the van? Does that sound like a plan to everybody?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, cool bean.
Yeah.
So
Marigold
Selli will
gives
help negotiate.
Scribbles a quick kiss on the forehead before very carefully
Yep.
try to sit in the car.
Yeah, you probably have to go in through the you probably
doors?
have to through the
Yeah.
trunk after like,
They put most of the
putting all
seats
the
down.
seats down.
Yeah.
Scribbles is absolutely getting a kiss from Selli as well. And she just sort of holds his face. We'll see you very soon. Alright.
Say Scribbles nod. Yeah, I'll be fine. He gives her a kiss back.
She very reluctantly pulls away from him, but then jogs over to the fan to get in with Marigold.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And the professor will he's probably gonna he's gonna take Scribbles into the back bench seat and I don't know, is he good to sit up or should he like lay him down? He's really not sure.
Say Scribbles sits beside him, but very much leans on the professor. Like he could still sit up.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
All right, now it's time for some rolls.
Uh-huh.
Boy, we love
Dude.
rolls.
To drive?
No, not to drive, but to navigate.
Oh.
Oh.
So, let's make some survival rolls.
Oh, grand. All right.
Yep,
Well, okay.
makes sense.
Ooh, that's a -1.
I got a 10.
Oh. Okay.
All right. So at least
13.
I say, as you guys start driving off, you say Marks is leading the sort of mini sort of parade as he goes off, and it looks like he looks at the address and sort of looks at the signs and the roads and everything, and he starts following them, but then it looks like, hey, this doesn't look like you get a feeling that you guys are not going the right way.
Oh. Oh no. Oh no.
Excuse me, are you sure we're going in the right direction?
I'm pretty sure we're going for the right direction. I mean, and he looks like, I mean, he looks at the address. I know this address is outside of the city, but I think we're going the right direction. I mean, you could, if you want, you could check the map.
Yeah, can he do that?
Yeah, he points towards the glove box for a second.
Yeah, he'll lean around and open the glove box and get the map out. Should I like roll again?
Yeah,
or...
roll survival again.
Okay. Ooh, much better.
Oh yay.
Don't worry, we're getting there. It's a 19.
Yeah, he's definitely going the wrong way.
Oh, actually, it's a dirty 20. I used the wrong modifier.
Oh, fair enough. You definitely know you definitely see the idea of where he was going, but he went the wrong direction, and you know where to go.
Yeah, he's gonna help navigate then.
Yes. You're able to navigate out of the city properly and go to like very much the coast of the city, where the city's sort of resting on. It's now it's sort of now getting a bit dark. It's getting more dark out at nighttime as you travel more and more out the city, very much into the sort of the country area of UPA. And you eventually get to this like one singular road that's like surrounded by trees and stuff, and you on one side you could definitely see through some of the tree line very much a coastline to where they are in UPA, and you eventually come to a singular driveway, and it's a gravel driveway, of course. It's very much a country feeling as you guys pull up the driveway. You see a beach house, a bright blue 2-story beach house that on the coast. It very much is sort of the only house around here for a good couple miles. Again, very much a country sort of feeling. And you can see that there are some lights still on in like the living room area, but yeah, you've made it here. And there's
Yeah. He's gonna get out of the car, professor's gonna get out of the car, and no reason to waste time. He's going to pick up Scribbles again. Do you want me to use my last roll, or should I roll again?
You can use your last roll, and it's definitely been a good half hour, and Scribbles is now looking extremely like drowsy again. Like he is barely keeping his eyes open.
Professor just sort of gives him a bit of a pat on the top of his head. Just says, "Nearly there, dear." Yeah.
And Scribbles like, yeah. And Marks gets out of the car too, along with like when they park and everything. It's just like, hang on there, son. We'll get you. We're gonna get you there.
And the professor is gonna walk up to the front door.
Yeah, and you have to take some stairs to get up to the front door because beach houses are usually on stilts because of the waves and the tides and everything.
Nobody wants their house to be flooded.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So as this group comes up to the front door, you knock and you it's quiet for a bit, but eventually you hear like some footsteps coming to the door. And 1 second. The door opens to see this looks like very elderly moth, Toon Moth. His fur / like skin is purple, but there's definitely very much a lot of gray with the age. His antennae are like half balding. You don't know how that works, but it's like his antennae are balding, or looks like they're half bald, and there's just like a little like outline of like, there should be like fur there, but there's not. It looks like he's like partially bald.
I love that. Great.
And he's like, can I help you?
Yes, hello. We were sent by Nurse Rosa Wolf and your grandson, Dr. Mason Luma.
Oh, I see. Come in, very, very quickly. As he leads them into the house.
Yep.
Hustle.
Yes. They were all just...
It's
some party, huh?
Yeah. It's a very homely house. There's plenty of family pictures on the wall. It's very cozy with old people furniture as he leads them to the living room area and he's like, please say who's I'm guessing this one, and he looks towards Scribbles, is the one that is the patient.
Yes.
I see. Let's take him upstairs. That's where I work. That's where my little office is. As he then looks towards the rest of the it's probably best that you all stay down here. I work best under not many people watching,
Mary doesn't like it, but she'll sit.
Selli will go and just sort of pat Marigold. Just rub her back.
She leans into it.
Yeah, and his mother looks like he's about to say something, but Marks is just like pats her on the shoulder again and like shakes his head, and he then like gives a nod towards the professor.
Yeah, he will take him upstairs.
Yeah, and upstairs you see there's a room that is similar to a hospital room where there's definitely a hospital bed with definitely equipment around. But there's definitely some equipment that doesn't look particularly normal for a doctor's office, that looks more magical in nature.
Yep, he'll lay him down on the bed.
All right, let's see what we're working with. As Dr. Luma put hands over Scribbles, similar to Mason, and they glow a bright yellow. So, tell me a little bit about what my grandson said. Why wasn't he able to fix this Oh, I see why he wasn't able to fix this problem. I see.
Can I just say that the professor gives him, like, a rough explanation of the important details?
Yeah, you definitely can.
Okay.
And he nods. Yes, I haven't gone that far with him in terms of soul bonding when it comes to the part of healing. It's definitely a different sort of way of doing it than someone who isn't soul bonded, of course. And he goes over to the counters and looks to be looking for some tools. It's no wonder that he wasn't able to fix this by himself, but this will definitely I'll be able to definitely teach him more about this later.
Mm-hmm. So you'll be able to help Scribbles and Scratch?
At least get them to the point of where they can heal themselves.
That's good.
But he, unfortunately, this boy, and by the time they get up, like Scribbles hits the bed, like he's fall asleep again.
Mm-hmm.
He took a lot of his magical energy to save his son, which is not surprising when someone with a soul bond, at least especially one for the first time, has a very traumatic experience like this. They can use way too much energy than they technically need, and they can hurt themselves.
I see.
Which seems to be the case here. He spent too much of his magic trying to pull Scratch back into himself where he would be safe, but in the process, it looks like he spent so much that he couldn't reclaim any of his own magic, at least at the time. He's basically, how should I explain it? He used so much of his magic by the time that it was all said and done but when he tried to stabilize himself, he really couldn't, because he was since it looks like Scratch is like a baby. They say he looks like he still needs magic to develop. So I don't want to bore you with the details, but
No, it's good to know.
yes. I just get a little bit too into it. Here we are. As he then takes out some instruments that look to be very magical in nature. Kind of look like dream catchers, but but that's only within their designs, and they almost seem to be almost look like wands. I'd say I should be able to balance out his soul and I should be able to balance out the two souls with this, but he will still need to need help recharging his magical energy. But I think I do have something for that. But first things first, as he then closes his eyes as a very bright aura surrounds him. And he almost looks revitalized in a way, as almost like another sort of like holographic version of him appears overneath his old body, as they work on Scribbles. He's like, this should not take too long. And the voice sort of sounds like it's doubled.
Mm-hmm.
If say, please go back down to the others. I shall contact you when I am done.
All right. And he will go downstairs.
Yep.
Hello.
Fret.
Yeah. Marigold looks up.
The doctor is going to be able to treat him, and he is doing so now. And he will let us know when he is done.
That's a
Okay.
relief.
Yes.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Ugh. Yeah, and it's Doodle Scrambles is like sitting closer to Marigold, just having puts a hand on her shoulder. Your father will be all right, dearie.
And she just nods weakly and leans into the pat.
I must say, I'm not particularly impressed with the conduct of that hospital.
No.
No.
What was that?
Yeah,
I mean, really? Dismissing soul magic out of hand? Just ridiculous.
Especially if they had not one but two experts in the field on staff. I suspect that this gentleman might have been removed from staff under the pretense of it being fake.
Yes, precisely.
I agree there. Mark's nods. Definitely unprofessional. And Doodle's like, yeah, it makes me piss. Like my son is hurt, and they had two professionals. Unbelievable, unacceptable.
I feel like this might be the best chance to ask this, but I don't have all the details on Scribbles' past before he left for Toontown. What did he do that would make people want to attack him?
Doodle sighs. Honestly, we should have seen the warning signs. He used people. He didn't care who was in the way, including even us. He just simply didn't. And she just sighs. I mean, he did multiple different things. He stole money from us. He lied to both of us. And he, not only that, but the emotional manipulation that he also did was say that we were his parents. We were supposed to help him with everything because that was our duty, and
And he used that.
yes, he did. I couldn't say what he did to the students. Callie may be able to get some insight on that. And Callie nods. Well, from what I have heard around rumors around campus, similar sort of things. He used people for his own benefit to gain knowledge and to get a leg up. For those particular students in particular, and she's like, I knew those four. Those were the four that were the sports ball. Were originally on the sports ball team.
Oh, he told me about that.
Yeah, those were the same ones that were not very mean. I mean, they were mean to begin with and not very good. But Scribbles, as they tried to use Scribbles to get them an easy A, basically turned it around on them and they basically was single-handedly got them kicked from the sports ball team, which
I think lost them the season.
not only that, but all 4 of those players were like people were recruiting them for like the major leagues and stuff. But once this whole debacle happened, it basically kicked them from being ever chosen.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds as though Scribbles wasn't entirely at fault in this particular case.
Not entirely a fault, but his actions
The
still.
only ones to have ill will towards him. Oh,
No, he's certainly had a reputation.
Callie nods. Yeah. And people were very, well, they don't forgive easily.
Sometimes people are like that. When you haven't seen a person for a year, to treat them like a criminal that hasn't been in jail their entire life seems rather unkind.
Callie nods. Yeah. You're not wrong at all.
Marigold's just like quietly grimacing and just has her arms folded and kind of have like digging her fingers into her arm.
Well, we do know better. We know Scribbles better. He is not that kind of...
Say that again, Wes.
Yeah, we know Scribbles better. He is not that kind of man.
Not anymore, it seems. Callie gives a little bit of nod.
What? And really, I mean, they should have at least investigated before they decided to really go that far. I mean, for star's sakes, have they never heard of a redemption arc? I mean, really?
I don't want to play devil's advocate, but he basically ruined their lives. But you're right about that.
Like they ruined them themselves, trying to take advantage of Scribbles in order
Yes.
to get better grades. Scribbles' behavior may have been inappropriate as a response, but that doesn't mean that trying to cheat your way into a better position in life is any better on their part than it is on Scribbles.
Callie sighs. Well, if you think of it like that, yeah.
That's not to, of course, we don't mean to invalidate the real harm that he did cause in other areas.
Mark's not. I say they not say it's like Mark's is like, yeah. It's like I am fully happy that he is being redeemed. But it still doesn't take the sting of what he did do. And I am more than willing to give him a second chance. But it's just gonna take a little bit.
You know, that was... The professor just looks thoughtful and like something just occurred to him, and he says, you know, that's one of the first real conversations we had. That was one of the questions he asked, is if I believed in second chances. And I said yes. I suppose that's why he asked.
Yeah, and Mark's nods. Yeah.
He always seemed so surprised that people were willing to trust, to be kind to him, as if his reputation was following him.
Yeah. In Callie sighs. I don't blame him though. Once a lot of the students caught on to his ways, they were very mistrusting, and rumors spread, and not wanting their friends to get caught up in that. The word spread fast.
If he's going to attend this year, then there needs to be a big change. I wonder if... I wonder if we might need to have a word with the headmaster about this.
I say, Doodle's like, I agree there. I'm surprised that he did decide to continue being at the school, but yeah, I agree there that we need to talk to Professor Princeton.
Yes, because this can't continue. This can't be allowed to continue. This animosity towards him. I mean, people can have their grudges in private, but especially after the attack today. No, this can't be allowed. This can't be allowed to continue.
I am sure Callie then mentions that this attack will probably spread fast on campus. I wouldn't be surprised if the professor of Princeton already knows about all this.
I would hope so. A potentially fatal attack on one of his students happening on his campus. I imagine he'd be one of the first to know about it.
Yeah.
And after his last known location being with him, of all people.
Yeah. I don't know what he's feeling, but I'd feel very nervous if I were him.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, Mary did kind of beat him up a bit, didn't she?
If they're not willing to give Scribbles a second chance, perhaps he could study remotely. If he's going to be unwelcome by majority of the faculty and the rest of the student body, I can't imagine that he'd be happy.
Callie nods. It was mainly the student body that took the main brunt of his blows. Most of the faculty they probably heard about all the rumors, but Scribbles, well, he never wanted to piss off professors that were giving him a grade. He tried to be a bit smart.
That's what you told me, yes.
Yeah.
Because he was... yes, something along the lines of course, he would have been kind to me because I was a professor.
Yes, indeed.
I do have to wonder, though, what made Scribbles want to pass so well, so badly, that he would take advantage of others in order to achieve it. He's very clever and very talented. He wouldn't have needed to.
You can make an insight on his parents if you want.
Okie dokie, I will definitely do that.
Can we, all of us?
You can if you want, yes.
Right. No. Yeah, that was it.
Alright.
Yeah.
Oops,
Hey.
I forgot the, hang on.
Mm-hmm.
Get rid of that.
Marigold is a little bit lost in her thoughts right now.
Yeah. But say you could tell that you two can tell that his parents feel extremely guilty about what you said. It's just like they say you very much get the feeling that you get the feeling that that was their fault.
Oh. Interesting.
And Doodle does eventually pipe up. It's like, it's probably our fault. I mean, we probably pushed him too hard. Like we said, that I said that he's the only magic user in our family. He probably felt so pressured to do well and be well that we never even saw the signs because we wanted him to succeed so much. And Doodle does sort of like scrunch, like curl lip in herself as Marks wraps an arm around her.
Well, don't.
There
That
are
may
many
have.
different ways to push someone too hard. Yours came from a place of love and of pride. And it's not something you should wholly be ashamed of. There is always two sides to things like this. And the fact that no one bothered to ask until now tells me that no one else bothered to try and see the other side of the coin.
And they give a little bit. They say Doodle does give a bit of a nod. Yeah. But she's very much quiet to all this. You could definitely still tell she does feel guilty about this.
Mhm. Of course, what he. Oh no, you go ahead.
Okay. If I could put your mind at ease, Mrs. Scribbles, my brother was pushed to succeed as well, but our father did not push him from a place.
You cut out.
Yeah.
God damn it. Selli, why do you talk like this? I'm gonna turn my gain up again. Okay. If it puts your mind at ease, Mrs. Scrambles, my brother was pushed by our father to succeed much the way, but he did not push him from a place of love or care, and it nearly destroyed my brother. You care about your son, and that is a good thing. So you can make it work. You can work with Scribbles, work with the school. There is no working between my father and my brother. Nothing can save that relationship. But you have a lot more going for you than they do. Because Scribbles does love you, and he holds no resentment.
She does cry a bit at that, like tears of joy. In a way, it's just like she wipes them her face. Thank you. For this last year, I didn't realize we were making a monster until now, and I mean, I'm glad that things are getting better, but I still feel that guilt. I felt that guilt for very much a long time.
Yes. Well, and parenting is difficult. You can only do so much as a parent, and the child has to take what you give them and make of it what they will. And it sounds like Scribbles took. There were many ways he could have reacted to being pressured somewhat, and he chose one that was that was harmful. And that's not your fault that he chose that one. that he made of the situation what he did.
And she nods again. I know. I say, like Mark said, it's gonna take a bit of time for healing and everything. But I thank you for trying to reassure me.
Mm-hmm.
And after about maybe an hour or so, say, Dr. Luma, you hear him coming back down the stairs and to the living room, and he smiles like, "It is done. Your say, Scribbles is all better. He is resting right. He is resting right now. He's currently awake. If you want to go see him, though, he looks towards the professor or to Marigold. He's like, which one of you is stronger?"
Professor
Points
points
at
to Marigold.
Yeah, she stands up immediately.
Yeah.
Can I have your assistance? Can I have your assistance for a little bit? There's some
Of course.
there's some medicine that I need to get that I need your help with.
All right. And she follows.
Yeah, as he goes out, and you guys can go up to Scribble into the little room to see Scribbles.
I'm gonna roll a whiz save to see how fast Selli.
Ah.
Oh, she's running. She's definitely running with an 8.
Aw.
Aww.
I love it.
Yeah, and Scribbles is just sitting up in the hospital bed. You don't see Scratch still, but you definitely, but he looks so much better as he just sort of holds his hand to his chest, but then sees you and gives you the biggest smile. Selli,
How are you feeling, dear?
I'm feeling a lot better. The magic is flowing well within me now. I think dislocated was the term that the doctor used, and it's definitely relocated now. Though I'm still feel pretty weak. Scratch is okay though, darling. He grabs her hands like, Scratch is okay. He's safe within me. Once I get enough strength, I'll be able to summon him back into another spell book or anything. I just need some time to recover.
Thank goodness.
That's good to hear.
Yeah, and he hugs Selli.
Oh, she's. I'm like, no, do I want to roll a strength? Yes, she has a -1, so that's funny. That is a 15 strength hug.
Aww.
And she's shaking. Scribbles can tell that she's shaking. Oh, boy.
Aww.
I need to make wisdom saving throws for the family. Yeah, no. The family, upon the hug, they are rushing over to hug too.
Dog pile!
Yeah.
But anyways, Marigold, you follow the doctor out of the house and underneath the house to an area that looks like it's made out of stone, and he brushes some of the sand off some of the stone, and you see one of the stones, some of the stones have different marks, sort of the patterns and everything. You see, they're very decorative. But he points to one of the patterns. He's like, can you pick up that stone for me, dear?
Oh, okay. Just roll a strength. Hello?
Huh?
Do I roll a strength?
No. I mean, you're a centaur. Your carrying
Yeah.
capacity is doubled. You're easily able to lift this rock
Yep.
out.
How
And
big is it?
it's a good size, but this guy's a frail old man. He can't pick up things that heavy. And this is definitely bigger and heavier.
Bigger or smaller than a loaf of bread?
Yeah. Because this is a
Nah.
good size. This is a good size slab. And
Yeah, he lifts it.
and underneath it, you see what looks to be a safe. And he's like, "Can you pick that up too, dear?"
Okay. Does so?
Yeah, and you take a small safe, but it's definitely a hefty size safe from underneath it. Say, very good, thank you.
Probably both around like each arm.
Yeah, he said, very good, thank you, dear, thank you. As you hear the clicking noise of like the lock thing, and then it clicks to open, and he reaches inside, and you can make a perception to see what's inside Marigold if you want.
Sure. Darling, no. No. It's a net one.
Alas.
I mean,
oh my gosh!
the safe, you can't look around the safe. It's just
I mean, it's faced away from her.
faced away from her. It's faced away from her. You try cranking your head around, but you can't. But you hear some rustling and stuff, and he takes out what looks to be a larger mason jar, and and inside looks to be some flower petals. And he smiles. Very good. You can put the safe down now and back into the hole. I'll be needing these for the next couple days.
Okay. Could I actually make a nature?
You can.
See what they are, I suppose. Okay. 13 plus 17.
These petals are magical as fuck, but you do not recognize them in the slightest.
That's fair. All right. Magical bullshit. All right, cool.
And I say, as you
this guy saved her dad. I don't think I'd question.
However, you do notice that there's only 4 petals in the jar. And it looks like you get a feeling that there should be a lot more.
Actually, you know what? Yeah, she's curious. What are those? I don't recognize the flower.
He laughs. I'd be surprised if you do. This flower is what I like to call Emily's tear. It's only grown in one place. And unfortunately, he looks at the jar, I only have these 4 petals left.
What? Is it bad to run out?
I certainly would like more, for sure. These are very potent in the art of healing, because partial of them is pure magic, so you can concoct them to cure almost anything if you have enough of them. But unfortunately, the person who she used to be a friend of mine, but something went wrong. She used to say we used to talk, we used to reminisce about the old days, but she started shutting, everyone out, including me. And she used to be very generous. Used to give out the petals to any healer who asked, but I don't know what, but something changed. And I can't get any more petals.
Oh dear. Could I ask who this is?
He sighs. You wouldn't recognize her. She's not a prominent figure or anything. Very recluse. But if I was able to get more petals, I'd be able to hear your father much quicker than it normally would take now, since I only have these 4.
It's all right. Thank you for.
I'm gonna roll.
Words died.
Yeah, gonna roll something. And his antenna perk up. Though he does look a Marigold. Her name is Flair, but she does say I haven't been to her island in a very long time, but if I know Flair, and I think I do, she may not be willing to give the petals to me, but maybe you could convince her to give some for your very sick father.
Oh, I could help.
Possibly. She does enjoy the company of children much more than adults. He gives a little chuckle at that.
She just takes a pondering. How long would it take?
I don't know. Maybe a day or so. But I say that's a subject for another day. Let's first get the petals that I have right now to your father now.
Yes. Yeah. She probably puts the stone down, not boulder, but she's not.
Yeah.
Yay, my girl got a quest.
And he gets back up to the house and he starts making something in the kitchen as he then sort of waves her to the upstairs like, go on now, I know you want to see your father.
Thank you. Yeah, she rushes upstairs.
She knows.
Scribbles is nowhere to be seen. There is just a pile of people.
Walks in. Oh dear.
3 UPNs and a Warren.
She just walks in quietly.
And Scribbles knows his daughter and gives out a hand to her to join the group hug.
Oh, she just perks up and wraps her arms around everyone.
Yes, the perfect group hug.
Nice.
So the doctor does eventually come back up with what looks like a tray of tea. He's like, and he pours some for Scribbles. I would suggest though that he stay here for at least 4 days. Well, 3 including today. Well, 4 including today. My brain is He waves his other hand around. It's just like, time.
Thank you very much for your care, Doctor. We appreciate it.
Yes, we appreciate it very much, Doctor. We'll pay you. I say, what do you go for, Doctor? I say, we'll pay you any amount. And he waves a hand at his mother. It's like, no. No cost at all. I do this out of the kindness of my heart. They say, I'm old and retired. I have no need for gold anymore.
He does have a beach house.
A very nice beach house. But yeah, unless anyone has anything to add, I say that this would be the end of the game.
Yeah.
I think they're going to have to try and find a tent or something they can pitch in the garden because Selly's not leaving Scribbles behind.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, like he definitely invites the professor, Selli, and Marigold to stay over while they're as they stay at the beach house, and that extended to their family. But their family his mother and father already have homes and everything, so they'll make visits, but if Selli and Marigold want to stay for the 4 days, they can.
Yeah, where
yeah.
Scribbles' parents and sister live in UPA is a hell of a lot closer than Toontown.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just writes letter to her other parents. Gonna be here for a bit.
Yep.
The professor probably stays the night and then wanders back over to the city and takes the teleportation circle back to Toontown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Selly probably wants to go and give the university and the hospital what for after a day or two. Like once Scribbles is getting really much a lot better, and she's like, okay, I can afford to leave you. She's like, okay, I have wrath that needs
Yeah.
healing.
Oh, I would love to say, love the wrath. I love it so much.
Yeah.
Marigold's gonna ask more about those heckin' petals.
Yeah, and I'll talk to you about that specifically, comment later about that, because, hey, remember when I mentioned in the Draft House server about that one dungeon game? I have plans for this.
Oh.
Fun.
But anyways, that's for a different time. Say thank you all for listening in on this from now in the future. Say hope you have a good time zone. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.